Stick around.
I want to tell you that I had the best time and about capacity for pain. He's my friend. I swallowed my pride and I slept all night. Please love, I heard you looking for attention. It's not tense.
Hey, what is going on, Aces Axes fans? Today, we've got an awesome touring band from the New York City, Philly area called WARPARK. I am super excited because, as you guys know, we like to showcase lots of different styles of music on here, and they are very cool. I don't even exactly know how to describe it. It's a mixture of shoegaze, a mixture of alternative rock, mixture of little prog. There's some punk influences, especially with your punk or your bass playing and everything like that. So kind of a kaleidoscope of rock tones and everything like that. So, and all with a three-piece. And I love seeing two-piece, three-piece bands and everything like that because you get to really hear each individual musician and what they bring to the sound and everything like that. So we've got 2/3 of the band here, right here. We've got Simon Guzman down at the end, which is the guitar and vocals, and Roger Walsh next to me, which is on bass and vocals. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
I'm charging up.
Yeah. Awesome. And I had asked you, Simon, is this your first time here in Syracuse also, Roger?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, welcome. I grew up right down there about 15 minutes from here and everything like that, so this is kind of my stomping ground. So welcome to Syracuse, guys. Yes. Are you New York City and are you Philly, or is that awesome?
Correct.
Very cool. Very cool. So I couldn't find a lot about the band, so this is a great opportunity for me to learn and for everybody out there. So how did you guys come about? It's been a few years, it looks like you guys have been playing together and everything, so.
Yeah, I mean, well, we all go way back.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I probably first met Roger in middle school. So.
Oh, sweet. I love those kind of connections.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a real long time. I mean, we didn't start playing music until Miss Sue's advisory in 9th grade. Were you out there?
It was name drop. I like that.
Yeah, you know, she was a pivotal teacher for me. So
that's great. That's great to have. A lot of people don't have any pivotal teachers.
Yeah,
that was high school for sure.
Yeah, so that's when we first ever picked up instruments and were playing together.
Did you like similar bands and it was just worked out perfectly, or it was just both ended up picking up instruments similar time?
A combination of the two, I think.
I actually had to learn a lot because I didn't like the music that the other dudes liked, so I had to I just wanted to jam.
Hell yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll learn these songs just to jam with them, and then that was the original when we first started playing together. It was us, Nick, playing drums, and we had another dude playing lead guitar. And when we were a 4-piece, we were playing a lot of just standard, plug the guitar into the amp, rock and roll.
Right.
A lot of Stroke stuff, Arctic Monkeys, and then when and that was our band.
Right.
And for a bunch of years, that was our band, and then that our lead guitar player left. And then we kind of looked at each other like, holy shit, we got to make it interesting.
Right, that's a lot of soundscape just gone all of a sudden. So
and I don't think either of us, did we even have pedals back then? I don't even know if you had a pedal board.
Yeah, no, not one like I have today.
We didn't have we just kind of plugged into the amp.
Right.
We were just the rhythm.
Right.
Yeah.
So we kind of stepped up and tried to fill out the sound, and that's when that band became WARPARK in 2017, and since then we've just tried to keep pushing outside of the box with the effects, with the sound, and also with the style, with timings and things like that. Now in our set we play a Radiohead song.
That's awesome.
And I've never listened to Radiohead. Again, I'm still having to learn music to be able to just play with.
Oh yeah, no, but that's the great
But
thing.
at the same time, he had to learn a White Reaper song.
Right.
Because, we wanted to play that too. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, for sure.
And growing as a musician, and everything like that, it gives you a reason to want to be better if you're already playing with musicians and everything like that. So you probably learned a lot quicker than some people who are just in their room trying to just jam along to a record and not really getting anywhere and everything.
That's how I learned how to play. Yeah. I just wanted to play songs, so I learned songs. And I started with punk because you pick up and play. Pick up and play Misfits or whatever. But learning that Radiohead song was really hard.
Yeah.
It was the hardest song.
And that was recent.
Right.
That was,
Oh yeah. No, playing music and everything like that, it never gets easier, especially trying to learn different, even I'm more of a metal player and everything, and I try to play country riffs, and it's just reggae stuff, and it's completely different thinking
worlds,
and everything that. Yeah, so I guess it's kind of like if you're you make comedy movies and someone says make a horror movie, you're going to be like, well, I have to look at everything completely different and everything.
Wow.
So
that's a good note.
So your album came out, All Things Must End, 2023. Did you guys record that in one of the hometowns, or where did you guys record that album?
Oh, man.
November of 2023.
Yeah, it's an awesome sounding album.
Thank you.
The time, it's a good time. It's not too short, it's not too long and everything like that. So amazing record. I've been enjoying listening to it.
Well, there was a couple songs that didn't make the record, unfortunately.
Hey man, all killer, no filler is better than albums where you're just
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes you're just if it wasn't for those 3 songs, I can listen to it all the way through, and I'd rather be wanting more than wanting less. That was the whole System of a Down thing always, where it was always 12 songs in and out, wanting you to hear the next record. So
Down.
yeah, great band.
Definitely.
Yeah, we didn't really know at first if it was going to be two different releases, like two short EPs, or if we were going to put it all in one. And then eventually we just kind of wanted to wipe the slate clean with these songs that we'd been sitting on for like years.
That's a really good way to put it, because I know in this day I talk to a lot of bands and they're just like, do we release single songs, the LP is done? But that's a really good way to put it, is to say you want to be done with the process of it and kind of move on to the next way. So it's a great way to release music, to be like, all right, let's get around to the next chapter and everything. So that's
really
awesome.
looking forward to the next battle of songs.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys released a video, which was super cool, and I actually dig the fact that it's kind of more of an acoustic song and not necessarily, I don't want to say not the vibe of the rest of the record, but what made you decide to go with that song and video, and did you guys shoot that in Philadelphia? Because it's very cool scenery and everything like that.
We actually shot that not necessarily around here, but in upstate New York.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful forestry and stuff around here, and the state's huge. The state's absolutely huge.
Yeah,
you drive 4 hours one way.
Was it Harriman?
No, it wasn't Harriman, it was further. I wish I could name drop the actual park we used, but it started with a W.
Okay.
And it was around, it was like, we had, our Nick, our drummer, had a vacation house where his mom lived in Kerhonkson.
Ooh, I've never even heard of that.
And that's and that's where the idea for the video kind of came from when I initially had it, was because I was driving around that area because that's where we were kind of recording. And that's
awesome.
And that's the first, I think one of the first songs that we finished for the album, and that was also recorded and I think written in upstate New York as well.
Oh, awesome.
So it was
that.
it was just like a cohesive thing where he had the song idea and wrote the song, and then we tracked it up there, and then through going back and forward and listening to, the rough mixes and driving around that area, I started to have the visions of what I wanted the video to look like.
That's great.
And we worked with my friend Zach Cooper to make the video.
Shot beautifully, so much love to Zach Cooper.
Yeah, Zach,
that's why I wanted to ask.
And me and him, we were gonna do a music video for a completely different project, and that ended up falling through. But I knew through talking to him years ago that he was able to work with me.
Yeah, because you have a vision. I like that.
Yeah.
Some musicians don't see, they just kind of, everybody's different, and it's nice to meet musicians that are kind of just like, my music is more than just notes on a page and everything like that. So very cool.
Right. So yeah, but the song is just one that we had, and we kind of released it as a standalone thing because we thought maybe it would get more shine than it just being in this record of like more, aggressive and heavier sounding stuff. Like now it kind of has its moment.
Yeah, it's an absolute beautiful song. Did you record, did it take one full day of doing the video and everything like that, morning to night?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Awesome.
the video was shot in one day. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
It was like backpack style.
Yeah.
I had a list of parks that I was gonna go to. I think the first park we went to didn't look cool, so we went to like the second park, and we were just like, this is rad.
Right.
And once we had the shot, we kind of there's like a nighttime scene that we kind of ripped off of like the Chili Peppers.
Hey.
What song
that's
was
right.
that?
Probably Road Trippin'.
Oh, okay.
Road Trippin', where like they like kind of all come together at like the end of the song or something and jam
I think at a
acoustic.
campfire.
At like a campfire.
Right.
Kind of just like took influence.
There you go. It matches it though, and it's a nice end to the video and everything, especially with it kind of being like a full day and everything like that. So I thought it was very nice. So I wanted to compliment you guys on it. Very cool video. And then I also wanted to talk really quick before we did about the gear. The live thing that you guys did at Cart Music, that was super cool. Is that something that you guys like the idea of? We talked a little bit about this off camera. You guys, the way that your music is, do you guys like the idea of kind of playing everybody live, recording it all as a, almost like a live album more so than you know, going in, you laying all the guitar work after the drums are done, and then you going in, your music kind of seems like it works better live in a way. Did you guys feel like that was a great way to kind of, because it's, as a standalone EP, it's almost different than the album. I don't want to say it's a different band, but it kind of showcases you guys in a different way. Was that one of the reasons why you wanted to do that, or was it just something that kind of came up and you guys were like, oh sweet, let's go with this?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We for the longest time have identified as a live band. We've spent so much more time playing shows than we have in a recording studio, for example. And those are two very different things we've learned.
Totally different, yeah.
Yeah, in terms of playing, in terms of energy, everything.
Just even the way you guys play on stage, like the way that you play your bass, you look comfortable being on stage and just like being like, we could be playing on a stage where everybody's in front of us and we have no space and everything like that. And it's like, I love that kind of feel where you guys would be comfortable in an uncomfortable situation, where bands that maybe are always in the studio are like, oh, it's not sounding perfect tonight, so we're not going to perform our best, where I feel you guys would be like, we can't even hear ourselves and we're ready to fucking rock out. So at least that's what I see from you guys' music. So I hope that's what you're trying to portray, because that's how it comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, we played a couple shows where, like, I mean, the last couple shows we played at were like, shit, there was nobody there.
Right.
You know, but it's like, but if we just play it like there's nobody there, then it gets like sad.
Right.
So instead, it's just like, all right, well, let's just kick it, you know, have fun, like, because otherwise it's gonna be a bummer. So yeah, we kind of just play, we kind of just tap in to being WARPARK.
Hell yeah.
Like when we put on our stage clothes and stuff, it's like, yeah, we just make that switch and we just kind of hit it. In terms of recording live, I think we're always like experimenting.
Right. That's awesome.
With whatever, like our first, like everything is, even now we have like a new demo process now that we have like a different living situation. And
oh, sweet.
So everything is just kind of out of like necessity and just like trying shit.
Hell yeah.
And the cart music thing was really cool. Like, it was something that I stumbled upon and I was like, this would be cool for us. And I think that really turned him on to recording live.
Right.
Because he kind of engineers all our stuff.
Yep.
And kind of produces it as well. So I think that cart music experience was something that, you know, for our next recording endeavors, we're gonna actually try to capture it more or less like that.
I personally agree with you. I think it sounds awesome, and I think it's a great representation of the band. From, you know, a fan point and everything like that, I think it is great. So fucking awesome.
Shout out to Matthias.
Yeah, Matthias.
Yeah, it looked like
music.
Yeah.
It looked like he had done like all the production, video work. I'd say in his name that pretty much did everything, and I was like, oh, a one-man thing that's fucking doing
it all.
So,
yeah, he's killer.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we'll get into a little bit of gear talk.
Thursday night in Syracuse. We came out with an album. It's called All Things Must End. These first few songs are on that album. This next song is also on that album. It's called Menacer.
So Simon, you play a Fender HSS with a Floyd Rose. Is that a aftermarket upgrade, or is that, because I know obviously Fender probably makes some with Floyd Rose. Is that stock how you bought it?
So that is stock how I bought it from Nick, our drummer.
Oh, interesting.
who's not in the video right now.
It's Nick's guitar.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's
I did not expect that as an answer, so very cool.
Yeah. The only pickup that I put in there was a Lolar. I'm forgetting the name of how it's on. It's a single coil pickup. It puts some noise back into it, but it's a really crisp, bright, clean sound. And I really just put that in to counteract the demonic side of the Floyd Rose.
It was fun to see a Strat. It was fun to see a Strat with a Floyd, though. I gotta say, originally, I mean, I hate to say, like, you see guitars when you hear some bands, and I kind of felt like a jazz master in all honesty. And then I saw Strat with a Floyd, and I was like, fuck yeah, I was wrong. It made me excited to and everything like that. So it was great. So do you travel with anything else, or just that guitar?
Just that guitar. It's a perfect road guitar for me. It's a little bit beat up, and I mean it's really the only guitar I play. But yeah, it's just I'm willing to beat it up.
Are you fluid with changing Floyd Rose strings and everything at this point then? Because I know some guitar players are super afraid of it. I've gotten used to it. Yeah.
I mean, well, I had the bridge set.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's
just for show.
Yeah, no, that's okay then. That's part of the show. That's part of the show though, is putting on a show. So.
I had no idea what any of this stuff was, to be honest. Years ago. I mean, this is a guitar I bought 11 years ago now.
Oh crap, that's awesome.
Off of
so you know that guitar. That's
I
great.
just I know.
That's great. I love to see musicians that are just like, no, this is my. I talk about Tom Morello a lot, and he's the same way, where he has used the same half stack since he started Rage Against the Machine, Audio Slave, everything, and he's just like, well, that's my tool, and I make it work for every situation. So I love stuff like that. So that's awesome. Big pedal board, but in all honesty, I thought you have like I said, a kaleidoscope of sound, but you make it work with not 40 pedals, not 30 pedals. Like it's kind of a smaller pedal board. So much props to you for that.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of clean tone, obviously? For that, is it just all pedals off, or is there a pedal that's always on kind of thing, and then you mold from there?
It's all pedals off, just running through the Fender Blues Junior. I used to keep an overdrive on, and sometimes I would just kind of add just the slightest bit of distortion to it. Mm-hmm. And sometimes keep that on, but it really is just a clean tone for the most part.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Saw you rock the mini wah. I have size 14 feet, so I've tried to use them and they just don't work for me. But I've noticed a lot of people use them. And obviously, it saves space on the pedal board. Yeah. So is that the reason you use it? Space saving, or just work better for you?
That's it 100%. I think in a perfect world, where I had more space, I might have something different. But it was really just my whole pedal board is kind of run off of being compact and small enough.
And I mean, you gotta sing and everything too, so the last thing you do is kind of have to worry about looking down and everything like that. You got enough to worry about, man. Yeah. So next was, I saw a Swollen Pickle, which looks like you had a custom sticker on it. Looks like you used that quite a bit. And then after that was a black pedal, and it looks like everything was completely off from it. Is that a secret pedal that you don't want anybody to know about? Or is it just something that you've had for forever and you've just used and abused and it's worn off at this point?
We might want to keep it.
No, that's awesome. That's great. No, that's cool. Maybe off air I can talk, but
it's not a great story.
No, that's okay.
But the secret is that it's not really anything too crazy.
Right. Okay. Cool.
It's a pretty standard type of overdrive
that a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. We'll keep it at that. After that, I saw Earthquake Organizer. Is that a octave divider, I'm guessing, or?
Yeah, it is. It replaced my sub and up a number of years ago, which is I'm pretty sure it's just an octaver for the one octave up and one octave down. I think that's about it. Maybe they have a sub underneath, one more octave lower. So yeah, I had the big sub and up, and then I saw that they came out with a smaller version, And so I was just looking for an upgrade at that point.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just fell in love with a performance video that I saw with it, and I was like, I could rock this.
Yeah, the Earthquaker stuff, like, I mean, it works for subtle effects, and then obviously it seems like you can get the craziest effects in the world with them. So they're a very fun pedal company.
I think it's my first foray into them, actually. I don't know if I have anything else by them.
Yeah, they make some crazy ring modulators and stuff like that, which, I mean, you can't overuse. You can use for like 10 seconds of a set, and that's about it. But it's fun for those 10 seconds. Carbon copy delay seems to be one of those tried and true, just always works. And is it the normal one or is it the modded one with the darker tone? Do you know by chance?
I actually don't know. I know there is a mod button. Is that what you're referring to?
I think so. Yeah, I think there's like a mod button where it gets like a darker tone. I'm not 100% positive.
Yeah,
but,
I never liked how it sounded with the mod.
Oh, cool.
I was never actually totally sure.
Yeah, delays are hard to fall in love with because it's like some people are very into stereo delays only, and then if it's running into a mono amp, and you know, some people love U2 and want that exact delay tone and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then you use the Ditto looper. Is that for guitar or is that for vocals? Because I know they make them for both.
Sure. Yeah, that's for guitar.
Oh, okay,
That's for
very
guitar.
cool.
And that initially was just like a powerful like practice tool for me, and hadn't been integrated into the band until we did a reverse loop of a riff.
Ooh, awesome.
And like by accident kind of fell in love with the sound, and then now we literally use it for one song.
Now it's integrated in for
yeah, and we've been looking for other opportunities to use it, but it's a risky animal. It's a risky beast.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's literally on there for one song. It's for the Menacer song.
Ooh, awesome.
And when we play it in the set, whether it's the first song or whatever, like he'll just kind of dial it up, and it'll just start looping, and it just kind of sets the mood for that song, and sometimes it sets the mood for just us about to take the stage or whatever, you know.
Awesome. Well, if that's the first song tonight, then we'll try to record the first song. We'll be able to do a little plug-in right here of it and everything like that.
We haven't made the set yet.
Oh, awesome! That's great.
We're playing that
Maybe
first.
we will.
And then just into a Fender Blues Junior, just one of those tried and true amps, and it's got a nice clean bass tone. So with using all the effects and everything, they work well with it. So
Yeah, a lot of low end
Yeah.
on that.
Just
On
with
that.
the fat button.
Yeah, is that what you use it with the fat button?
I use it without actually.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
cool.
but for years when our first like shows out, I love the fat. Yeah.
And I love, like, I brought up shoegaze a little bit, and sometimes some shoegaze bands, I think that they lose the guitar tone. It becomes where it's like, I can't hear the guitar. You, on the other hand, you seem to make sure that no matter what you're using, because of how great you are, the guitar is always there. It's phenomenal. Is that something that you try to make stand out, or it's just kind of how it works? Because at least for me, it comes across to where you're just like, no, the guitar is still going to be my instrument, and I'm going to layer it. Is that how you see it, or is that just how I'm hearing it?
No, you're totally right. It's super. Kevin. It's very intentional. Yeah, that's impressive. It's very intentional. You know, like I said, we've been playing together for years, and we used to have a fourth member, and you know, we always struggled playing these tiny, you know, basement venues or small spaces to have everyone heard and be equal parts. And you know, we struggled with tone a lot in the early days. So a main part of my sound really is the crybaby you've mentioned earlier.
Oh,
which,
awesome.
Yeah, which I use to kind of like live EQ in the moment and kind of respond and adapt to what's happening.
And that's way easier to use than like an actual 5-band EQ, because you don't have time to sit there, where that you can actually kind of sit in a certain spot.
I'm just constantly molding to taste, and
that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah,
that's great. And obviously venue to venue that can change then too, because
100%.
you know, you get a crazy, noisy refrigerator in the next room, and you're like, ooh, any high-end tonight's not going to work for me. So that's super smart. I can't think of many people I can say that have used it. Maybe metal bands that use it for a section for a lead, but not necessarily for a rhythm effect. So that's awesome. And I love to learn new stuff like that. So here we are live learning stuff. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we really like adapt to we try to play to the room.
Yeah.
And that's something that we've done on this tour more than ever. And just with our guitar sounds in general, it kind of, I feel like with my bass sound, I kind of cut a lot of low end.
Right.
And almost sometimes it feels like the low end's coming from the bass, but it's actually coming from the guitar. And I feel like his guitar is actually more on the darker side than on the brighter. So it's kind of like the bass is the brightness sometimes, and the guitar is the darkness.
Yeah.
And we kind of like interchange like DNA.
I was actually gonna wonder if you had played guitar first, because you're not, I hate to say typical bass player, but you're by no means the typical, I'm just gonna sit there and play a root note, and just like, you're following the melodies and everything like that. You bring up, I think you allow Simon to play guitar by not having to worry about, am I filling up this whole sonic spectrum? It's like, no, you've got it covered, man. So it's, as a guitar player, I would love to play with a bass player like you, because
I don't know about that.
I mean, hey, I'm only being real with that. So I don't know. I think you're a great bass player. So I enjoy listening to you play and watching, and kind of seeing you take up more of a sonic space than just, like you said, than just the low end guy.
Yeah, I never really liked when the bass was too boomy. Like, I've been to so many shows, and we've been to so many shows, and when the bass is too loud, it just feels like it ruins everything to me. Especially when the low end is too loud. So that's one of the things that I'm super conscious, and it can also be the same with the guitar, like with when the treble is too loud on a guitar, you know, it can just be so piercing that it's not enjoyable. And I've been to shows where that was the case too, you know. So I think for both of us, it was to dial both of those back,
right,
as much as we can, and then figure out how we support one another. Like, if we, you know, this show tonight, we're going to be like, okay, we have taller ceilings, you know, the guitars are mic'd, it's not just stage stuff. So we kind of, you know, can play to the room in that way too. Being
a musician is being adaptable, in my opinion, and I love how you guys are talking about that and everything like that. So it warms my heart just to like talk to people that actually care about their performance and everything like that. Like you said, whether it's for 5 people or 500, the fact that you guys are actually like, well, does this sound good to the people out there? Because if I'm one of them out there, I want it to sound good listening to you guys. So I don't think every musician out there cares about the people out there listening. So
well, at the same time, we're giving people free earplugs at the merch table always. So it's gonna be loud.
No, that's how we like it here. So P-Bass, is it a Fender? I saw that the neck had no name, so, but P-Bass pickup and everything like that, it looks like?
Yeah, it's the first bass that I ever bought, which was a Squier $300, you know, kit that you get when you first start playing.
The Strat pack with the bass version. I sold lots and lots of those guitar sets. Yes, I know.
But, you know, the Indonesia neck sucked. And instead of just buying a whole new guitar, I was like, you know, I'm just gonna work with what I have. So
adaptability. So you're right back to it, man.
I love maple necks, so I put in a bright maple neck, and you know, kept the original bridge, kept the original tuning knobs.
Oh wow, nice!
Just moved it from one to the other. Just I guess the you know, environmentalist in me, and then put Seymour Duncan quarter P pickups in.
Yep.
Just because that's what everybody uses, from Mark Hoppus to, you know, whoever.
Yeah, it was literally, we had one bass pickup replacement that we sold at Guitar Center. It was literally that. So everyone was like, well, does it sound good? And I'm like, if it's the only one we sell, it must sound good. So a recommendation right here, which is awesome. So there was a specific tone. I try to always dial in one specific tone that I really like. And from the cart music, the second song, which was Early Onset Regret, the very last minute and a half or so, there's a spot where guitar is completely clean, and then you guys all kick back in.
Yeah.
And that was the moment where I was saying I saw you rocking the wah pedal, and the bass phaser tone at that point is huge sounding, and it comes across on the album, but especially on the live thing. Do you know what by chance you're using in that specific moment, if there's a specific phaser tone or anything? Because that moment is fucking awesome. Especially because it comes from, like I was saying, that crystal clean guitar tone, and it's just like 4 or 5 seconds of it, and then you guys all come back in. Those are the moments where it's like you listen to the whole set for that like 5 seconds, you know, like as a musician, that's what I do. So
yeah, like I mean, that was our first song.
Really?
You know, like
really?
as WARPARK, like if you go back, like that was our first single from 2017 or whatever. That was our.
That's great. I did not know that.
Yeah, like that was our first, you know, song where we were like
the
writing
3-piece
like
and everything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, we had that riff, and it was just about how do we make it interesting, because the whole song is kind of like one riff.
Yeah.
And we have a few songs that are like that where it's just kind of one riff with being played different ways, you know, like sometimes I'll play it at the high octave, sometimes I'll play it at the low octave, and sometimes he'll play it clean, sometimes he'll strum it and kick the drive on. With the ending of Onset,
and maybe it's not a phaser, but it sounds like something.
It's not a phaser, no. But with that, so I have this Boss ME50B that I bought because I'm just such a big fan of Cliff Burton, and Cliff Burton is the reason I play. And on my bass at the very top, there's the only sticker that's still left on it, because it used to be covered in stickers. The only sticker that's left on is a sticker of Cliff.
Oh, that's great.
And, you know, when I was, you know, learning how to play bass, I wanted to sound like Cliff, so I had an Ampeg stack and whatever, and I wanted the wah pedal because he had the wah
Anastasia
pedal.
Pulling Teeth, I was going to say, the famous bass wah.
But the Morley wah and the, you know, the, what is that, electro harmonics. The big buff.
Yeah.
So I was looking into, like, I just want to, I want to get what Cliff has.
Right.
But through all the research, it was like, you know, these pedals were so much money that at the time, which was a long time ago, I don't even think they sell this multi-effect pedal. At the time, it was like, well, it could be $260 to just get these 2 pedals,
right?
Or I could get this multi-effect pedal for $300.
And the cool thing with those Boss ones, they're like the individual effects. It's not like a normal digital route. It's almost like you have the 20 different Boss effects all in one unit and everything like that. So those are awesome units.
Yeah, so I think for the tone of that one, I think I have the songs almost all on presets now.
Very cool.
So I just hit like 1, 2, 3, 4 for like the different moments.
Right.
When I kick into that part of the song, it's either a phaser or a flanger.
Awesome.
And just a massive amount of drive, and I want to say it's a metal drive, but it could be the big muff fuzz.
But I love that tone is, I'm a huge Hendrix fan, so it almost sounds like some of those early Hendrix where it's like panning left to right, just all over the place. I think
there also could be an auto wah on it at the same
sweet,
time.
Sweet.
So I think there's like, because I know that all of my presets light up, which means like all of the everything is happening there.
Yeah.
And then at the very, very end, I kick on the wah pedal and just add a whole nother layer of frequency on it, just to make it super obnoxious.
Yeah, halfway
essentially.
through the end.
Yeah. So, but I absolutely love that moment.
This next song goes out to Kevin right over here. Make some noise for Kevin. The song's called Early Onset Regret.
you're my plans? Have you lost your way? It takes everything I had. Doesn't mean we'll despair. Maybe hit my blind side. It's about sacrifice. And in the darkest night, I wanna start and talk. Oh, it starts like to talk with you. You can pull yourself down, but you may need to spell it out. People waiting in this line. Believe it. If you wanna change location, why can't I meet you at the station? Right to your mother's door. But it starts. I wanna talk.
Make some noise!
But and you use a Fender Rumble 500. You
Yeah.
had said you'd kind of loaned it quite a few times from Guitar Center, I guess would be the best way to put it, and then decided just to
Borrowing it, yeah.
yeah, and then just decided to buy it outright. But they're nice and lightweight. Sounds fantastic. So
Yeah.
seems to be a good choice.
We, you know, in the past, we were plug in and play dudes, you know, whatever the house had, we would play. But now that we have these presets and we have these songs and like we want to execute our stuff and have fun and we don't want to have to worry about things, like we use our amps and we make a point to like use our amps, know how to adjust, know how to position it and stuff, and we both use Fender amps, we both use Fender guitars, and it's just like...
I was going to say Fender, we're going to make sure we do a little hashtag of this, because always looking for new bands, I'm sure, to talk to, and these guys are using all Fenders.
Hey,
so.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's what... I buy stuff based on watching Rig Rundown videos.
Yeah.
And aside from Cliff Burton, I used to have an Ampeg stack, and I was like, I can't bring this.
Yeah.
You know, I was in a thrash metal band or whatever, so I got rid of it, and my next favorite bassist after that was Matt Freeman of Rancid and Operation Ivy, and Matt uses Fender, and Mike Dirnt uses Fender, and I just love that clean, punchy sound of punk basses, and to be able to play technically, and he plays clean and technical too, so it like just to have that, I guess, potential of we could be clean and we can also be booming, and I can control it. It's not just like, you know, I'm a victim or at the mercy of what my stack
some
is.
old PV stack that you have to plug into, and you're just like, oh, it's all mid. Tonight's gonna suck. So, I didn't ask particular strings picks for either of you guys, or just kind of like what standard tuning. I didn't even ask a couple other things.
Standard tuning.
Awesome.
Standard tuning. Elixir strings for me.
I was gonna say probably tour. It probably helps make them last a little bit longer then.
Yeah, we went with Elixirs for
for bass also.
For bass also.
Awesome, great.
Those are a lot.
Yeah, a little expensive. But I mean, I guess if you don't have to last one tour, I'm guessing easily and everything.
For picks, I kind of splurged and like bought our own picks. You know?
Hold on, let me get this close up.
So we get our and kind of at the end of the set, we kind of like hand them out sometimes. I give them to people, it's like a cool parting gift because you know, at the end of like, you know, this is at the end of one set and it's like kind of thrash, and I have some other like and these are really cheap like picks, so I'm just beating the shit out of them and then kind of giving them away.
That's dope. I might have to try to get one of those. I'm gonna have to remind myself. That's very cool.
Right.
Specific picks for you, Simon?
Not in particular. I like a medium thickness. I don't know I think like a 0.9 to like a 1.2 around there.
Cool.
Yeah.
We also like go back and forward between finger picking. And picking. We like even throughout the course of the song. We like pick them up and put them down.
The acoustic that you used on the video, Martin, it looked like by chance. I wasn't 100% positive. Do you like writing on acoustic also, or is the acoustic not really your thing?
I love acoustic. That's actually his acoustic.
Oh, beautiful guitar.
Yeah, I had like a transportable like Yamaha that I had at home. That was my dad's, and so I love acoustic. And I also have a nylon classical guitar at home.
I love the sound of classical. I have one too.
Not that I'm trained on it, but it's just nice to mess around. And actually, in the recording, both are used. Both the Martin and the nylon string for Buried Truths are used to play the guitar part, or like build a sonic landscape.
I didn't even know that.
That's great. That's
rad.
Well, guys, I gotta say thank you guys both so much for sitting down with me. This has been an absolute pleasure. I can't wait to see you guys live tonight. Please make sure you guys check these guys out. If you're not coming down for the show tonight, they're going to be on tour hopefully for years and years to come, putting out lots of new music. What's the best way to keep up with you guys? Instagram, all that kind of stuff? Is that the best way to watch you guys?
Yeah, everything's at WARPARK Music. Our website's WARPARK Music. Our Instagram, our whatever else there is.
Yeah.
We don't have a TikTok yet.
Yeah. I understand.
But it would be WARPARK Music. Yeah.
Awesome.
Unless one of you makes it first.
I think I already made it, and it's just sitting there.
Never mind.
Awesome. Well, I am super excited to hopefully get some nice shots of these guys tonight, do some cool film work, and make sure, like I said, check out that Cart Music, the live 3-song thing they did on YouTube. It's on Spotify also, but I think it's a great representation of this band if you're missing them this time, and next time they come around in Syracuse, we're going to have lots more people down here. So thank you guys so much for saying yes to this. This shit is means a lot to me. So kick ass tonight, guys, and make sure you guys all watch them.
Much love. Thanks.
Bye.
Fuck yeah, man. That was great, man. That was fantastic. You guys were fucking